Could someone have prevented this tragedy? And who should be held accountable? I'm Frank Pabst, an injury attorney dedicated to helping victims and their families seek justice after tragic events. And today we're talking about the heartbreaking truck bombing that occurred on New Year's Eve in New Orleans. This incident has left many families grieving and communities shaken. While we mourn those lost, it is critical to discuss the legal avenues available to hold responsible parties accountable for the harm caused, especially from the perspective of wrongful death and liability. So what is liability in wrongful death cases? Under U.S. law, wrongful death occurs when someone's negligence, recklessness, or intentional actions lead to another person's death. Liability refers to the legal responsibility of individuals, organizations, or entities whose actions or failures to act contributed to the harm. In the case of a tragic event like the New Orleans truck bombing, multiple parties may potentially bear legal responsibility, depending on the circumstances. So who might be liable? Let's break down some possible sources of liability. The perpetrator. If the attack was a result of intentional acts, which I think we know it was, the individuals directly responsible for planning and executing the bombing would be primarily liable for the wrongful deaths and the injuries caused. They can face both criminal and civil lawsuits. Event organizers or property owners. Were adequate security measures in place to protect attendees? If the organizers of the New Year's Eve event or the property owners failed to provide reasonable safety precautions, they could potentially share liability for the harm caused by the attack. Manufacturers or suppliers. If the materials used in the bombing were obtained due to negligence, such as a failure to follow proper regulations around dangerous substances, manufacturers or suppliers of those materials might also bear some responsibility. To establish liability, it's crucial to demonstrate that the responsible party breached a duty of care and that this breach directly resulted in harm. For example, event organizers owe a duty of care to attendees by ensuring the venue is secure and risks are minimized. If they fail to take reasonable steps, such as hiring adequate security personnel or addressing known vulnerabilities, they may be held liable. Similarly, if regulatory lapses allowed dangerous materials to fall into the wrong hands, those who failed to enforce safety measures may also share responsibility. When families lose loved ones due to negligence or wrongful actions, they can pursue compensation for economic damages. This includes medical expenses, funeral costs, lost future income that the deceased would have provided, non-economic damages. Families can also seek compensation for the emotional pain, suffering, loss of companionship caused by the wrongful death. And then punitive damages. In cases of egregious conduct, courts may also award punitive damages to penalize the responsible party and deter similar actions in the future. Tragedies like the New Orleans bombing highlight the importance of accountability. By pursuing legal action, families not only seek justice for their loved ones, but also help ensure that similar failures or acts of negligence are addressed to protect others in the future. I hope this discussion has shed some light on the legal pathways available to hold culpable parties accountable in such heartbreaking situations. Remember, while we can't change the past, we can fight for justice and prevent future tragedies. Now, if you found this information helpful, please like and subscribe for more insights on seeking justice in times of need. Take care. Don't hesitate to reach out if you need support.